Good morning, Commander. You wanted to see me? Yes, of course. I finished all the initial tests last night. Would you like me to present my results right away? No problem. I have prepared a small slideshow. Let me just... There. I thought some visualizations might make this easier to comprehend. I still can't believe my own findings. I've repeated most measurements just to be sure, but the outcome stayed the same. Right. I apologize, Commander. I'll get to the point straight away. I need to warn you. It's quite a lot. Amazing! Don't get me wrong, but hard to believe nonetheless. So, as you're already aware, I've been tasked with testing planet 1B770, dubbed Earth, for signs of sentient life forms and their characteristics. As this diagram shows, most species on this planet are of lesser intelligence. Many show signs of emotions, complex social structures, and a crude intellect, but there's only one species that portrays all the traits needed to qualify as truly sentient. They want to be called humans, though I think Homo sapiens is another term they use. I haven't yet found out the context these are used in, so for now I assume they're interchangeable. Here's a simplified overview of their general anatomy. The majority of humans seem to fall into one of two categories. I believe this species might display sexual dimorphism. They have 4 limbs in total, which seems insufficient at first sight, but they make up for their lack of extremities with their extreme durability. Look at this graph. I've measured the highest and lowest temperatures this planet seems to reach. On the low end, the temperatures exceed far below the freezing point of most metals. On the high end, the air temperature is enough to melt rubidium. You'd think only the areas with a more moderate climate would be inhabitable, while half the planet lays bare, killing each and every creature that tries to live there. We've seen it time and time again, young societies failing due to a lack of possibility to expand. In some cases, 90% of a planet isn't suitable for life. Same should be true for this planet, and yet... And I cannot believe I'm saying this, these humans live in every corner of 1B770. The entire planet is covered in them. There's only a few areas that do not house any of these remarkable creatures. You're absolutely right, Commander. It's incredible, borderline unbelievable that a species which can withstand such extreme temperatures would also develop sentience alongside their resilience. It's truly impressive, especially since they're entirely carbon-based. But that isn't all. Please, look at this chart. I've compared some well-known, somewhat similar life forms to this one. Only the Homo sapiens is able to lift approximately 500 ooblums. I have to add that this ability varies greatly between the individual members of the species, though. Some are able to carry far less, some far more, as absurd as this sounds. I have been thinking about a possible explanation for these physical advantages over other life forms, and I've come to the conclusion that it might have to do with the drug they ingest on a daily basis. After some tests, I found out that a large portion of their planet is made up of dihydrogen oxide. As you're certainly aware, dihydrogen oxide is banned in nearly 600 solar systems, as free access to it usually leads to drug abuse, heightened crime rates, and many casualties. On this planet, however, it's free for anyone to consume, though large enough amounts of it seem to be laced with sodium chloride, perhaps as a sort of preventative deterrent measure. And the humans seem to avoid ingesting it, though, interestingly enough, they seem to enjoy submersing themselves within it. I don't quite understand this behavior fully yet. It might have to do with some sort of spiritual belief. Well, despite this obvious drug problem, according to my findings, approximately 99.9% of the population consumes dihydrogen oxide on a daily basis. They manage to keep up their societal structures. They must have an enormous tolerance for these types of substances. Despite all this, they display a variety of highly specialized social behaviors and seem to have implemented a form of currency. There is one behavior in particular, though, which I fail to understand. Look at these wildlife species that inhabit the planet. Most of these have 4 extremities, consume other living beings, and are highly specialized for killing their prey. Truly, a barbaric planet, if you ask me. But here's where I'm confused. Take this one, for example, the smaller one. It possesses retractable claws, which can be hidden away or extended at will, night vision, an automated landing system letting them survive a fall even from extreme heights, and rotatable audio receptors. On any other planet inhabited by carnivores, this would be the apex predator, the sole being on the very top of the food chain. And yet, many members of the human species seem to enjoy harboring these creatures in their buildings. They will care for them like an offspring in some cases. They feed these creatures, purchase goods for them, let them take part in their social rites, play with them, even let them walk around freely while they rest. Remarkably, these creatures don't seem to have any interest in murdering humans. Most I've witnessed is a human receiving a small scratch. No. Now that I think about it further, perhaps they do intend to kill, yet the skin of a Homo sapiens is simply too tough to let this happen. After all, they are very robust. All in all, Commander, this is an extremely fascinating species, yet I think we might want to hold off on contacting them just yet. The planet isn't inhabitable for any of our own species, the wildlife is extremely dangerous, and the widespread dihydrogen oxide abuse may cause further drug problems in our solar system, especially since access doesn't seem to be restricted on this planet in any way. Perhaps it'd be better to wait until some of these issues are eventually solved by the Homo sapiens themselves, as they seem to be the only species capable of roaming the planet at this point anyway. Thank you, Commander. Your praise is well appreciated. I will make sure to send you the graphs and diagrams for your later reference. I'll report back to you with any further findings. Goodbye for now.